You may be seated. I think Rosh Hashanah is the most optimistic, most positive, and potentially most joyful day in the year. Today, on the first day of the year, we remind ourselves that growth and change are not only possible, they are attainable. It has been my privilege to have worked with Alden on this message. Together we wish for you what we wish for ourselves and for all people. May each of us welcome this new year with open-hearted optimism and hope. At a recent event, I found myself in the midst of a serious and philosophical conversation about the way navigation for apps for smartphones, apps like Waze and Google Maps actually work. That is, when you first enter a destination, the app will give you a number of miles. So let's say we put in St. Louis. I have a son in St. Louis in college, and the app shows you that St. Louis is 557 miles away. But then, when you tell the app to go, you notice that somehow now St. Louis is 607 miles away. So in the midst of this conversation, someone offered that the first number was, quote, as the crow flies. And the second number took into account the actual roads to be traveled, roads with actual traffic, and stoplights, and of course, actual construction. In other words, the second number is real life, full of obstacles. Life is full of obstacles. Some obstacles happen to us, and we have no control over them. People get sick, storms and floods and earthquakes happen. Other people make decisions that have a direct impact on our lives. And yet, when we're honest, and Rosh Hashanah is the time to be honest, we admit that many of the obstacles in our past we have put there ourselves. On Rosh Hashanah, we see the opportunity to clear away the obstacles we put in our own paths, obstacles that stand between where we are and where we intend to go, between who we are and what we aspire to be. But this is why I think Rosh Hashanah is so optimistic. It's totally doable.
Let your heart stir. Breathe in the sound of the shofar. Let the trumpet of our people be the voice of your heart. For your soul knows the call. Let your heart stir and your eyes open anew. Taste the sweetness of the new year, the delight of healing, the joy of possibilities, the pleasure of being. Let your heart stir and your eyes open anew. Exalt in the triumph of forgiveness. Let the glory of repentance be the light of your days, for your spirit knows the way home. Let your heart stir and your eyes open anew.
Our eyes open anew today to powerful teachings from our tradition, like this verse from the prophet Isaiah. B'midbar panuch derech Adonai, Isaiah tells us, clear the way for the eternal through the wilderness. Make a path in the desert for our God. This is a beautiful, potent, and optimistic message. Panu derech. Get rid of what's in your way. With the season's recent and current storms taking up much of our attention, one media image is particularly striking. After Hurricane Irma downed trees all over Miami, a habit-wearing nun named Sister Margaret Ann picked up a chainsaw that she found in a closet and took to the streets. The video clip that went viral shows Sister Margaret Ann wielding the chainsaw upon a tree. Just one tree on a street full of wreckage from the storm. According to one self-proclaimed expert quoted in the story, the nun wasn't holding the chainsaw right. Right? I would beg to disagree. She was doing it 100% right. And if anyone understands the imperative to clear the way, to making a path, it's Sister Margaret Ann. In fact, may I suggest that Sister Margaret Ann holding the chainsaw exactly the way she was holding it makes the perfect illustration for the verse from Isaiah, Panu derech, clear the path. On Rosh Hashanah, we are each called upon to clear our own paths, to do the inner work, to analyze the habits and proclivities that no longer work for us, and to commit to practices that will get us closer to our aspirations. This work is called tshuva. The shofar blasts we will hear tomorrow are meant to jumpstart the process. The tradition of 100 shofar blasts is designed to wake us up to the realization that, while it would be nice, admittedly, to find a sister with a chainsaw to help us clear our paths of obstacles, that's not the way it works. Because the obstacles in our paths have been placed there by us. Only we can remove them. We might start by forgiving ourselves.
Redeeming my life. A part of me refuses to forgive myself for my errors, my mistakes, my oversights and misdeeds. How can I redeem my life from inside this place of judgment, of harsh words and somber requirement? God of old, God of justice and truth, teach me to restore my life through acts of love and kindness, thoughtfulness and care in support of my family and community. Teach me to surrender my days to the joy of service to others, the joy of concern for this world and generations to come. Heavenly Guide, revive me with your light, restore me with your truth, refresh me with deeds of righteousness and charity.
Alden reminds us that tshuva, change, is possible when we get out of our own way. We are familiar, many of us, with the verse from Leviticus that warns, "Do not put a stumbling block before the blind." Who would do that? We ask with horror. Who would deliberately put something in path of a blind person? But we do it to ourselves all the time. We tell ourselves that we aren't smart enough or good-looking enough, and we sabotage our best intentions. We get stuck by replaying over and over again what we've done wrong, where we've made mistakes, when we've fallen down. And we get the idea, the understandable but not at all helpful idea, that getting up isn't a possibility. Rosh Hashanah says that it is. Rabbi Sheila Peltz-Weinberg provides us with a mantra for the times we find ourselves doubting our resilience, for the times we get discouraged by our failings. She teaches with brilliance and a sense of humor that with patience, we can get to the place where fall down, get up can be one movement. She asks us to imagine that we are on a road. This is her words. So now you are on the road, nice and easy, no rush, no push, and you take one little step. You take two little steps. You take three little steps. You take, watch out, watch out. Here on the fourth step, you are meant to fall down. Not once, not twice, not occasionally, but on every fourth step. The ground opens up. The wind blows. A branch hits you on the head. You trip on stones. You twist your ankle. Your heart breaks. You fail a test. You haven't gotten the job you wanted. You fell back into your addiction. You lost your temper again. All of the forces gathered together to stop you. And some people, when it happens, they fall down and they lie there for the rest of their lives. But some people learn to fall down, get up. Now that is one move. Fall down, get up. Fall down, get up. One move. I want to do it that way, to fall down, get up. Alden reminds me that it takes practice and that sometimes we will be down for a while before summoning up the courage, the strength, the will to get back up. But with practice, and we will all get a lot of practice, it will become one move. And then even when it is one move, it might not even be graceful. But fall down, get up in one move, It's a noble and rewarding goal. At the beginning of these comments, I said that Rosh Hashanah was our most optimistic holiday. I would like to share that this part of my enthusiasm comes from an image that came on Facebook by Marian Allen, who is a member of our congregation. She's on the board of trustees, and she's one of the co-chairs of our Social Justice Committee. So when I saw this on her Facebook page, I got really enthusiastic about the idea that change and clearing the path were possible. Marian posted a photo of her daughter at 2 years old. Her sweetly smock dress comes down practically to her ankles, and she is running. Her arms are outstretched, her face is radiant, and she wears a huge smile. Marian captures the photograph. She came into the world earlier than expected. She was ready. She has always approached life like this, arms and heart wide open. Here I come. I want to experience everything. Will that little girl, who is now a grown woman of 26, run straight through her life without falling down? She doesn't know it at the time, of course, when the photo was taken, but she will fall down and she will get up thousands of times. But those little outstretched arms are our teacher for this Rosh Hashanah and for the entire High Holy Day period of Tshuva, of return. That child's exuberance, her joy, those are our teachers. And by the way, her name is Hope.
Let joy spread across your face, flash from your eyes, beam from your lips. Let joy quiet your heart, soothe your lungs, relieve your chest. Let joy flow through your bones, awaken your nerves, caress your flesh. For joy is in the dawn and the dusk, the silence and the great expanse, the flow of light from God's grace, divine wonder and awe, calling out to you, dear sisters and brothers. Awake, you slumberers. Awake, you who sleepwalk through hours and days, blind to hope and love. Have you forgotten Sarah's laugh and Miriam's song? Have you forsaken Jacob's dreams and Ezekiel's visions? Have you succumbed to fear and shame? This then is God's command. Let joy hold you, carry you, burst forth from your words and deeds. Let joy take you from season to season. Dance and sing, celebrate and rejoice, lifting your life with exaltation. Let joy be your light and your lamp. Blessed are you, God of joy.
Our prayer for this year is that we all panu derech, that we clear our paths with or without a chainsaw, that we embrace change